Welcome back to Sunrise. Lost Dog Awareness Day was observed yesterday. Yes, there is such a thing. And it was to raise awareness about lost dogs and to educate pet owners about preventative measures to keep their furry friends safe. So telling us more this morning is Managing Director at the Montego Bay Animal Haven, Sabria Hector, and our little rescue dog here, Mocha. Welcome to Sunrise.
Hi, morning.
Morning. I didn't know there was such a thing as a Lost Dog Awareness Day.
Yeah.
Glad to see that it was observed yesterday. I feel like in Jamaica we have this style where we just say we see dogs on the road
every day.
we don't consider them lost. We're just like, see them there. How can we change that perception, and why do we need to?
Well, a lot of the times you see a dog on the road, you don't necessarily think it has an owner because it might not wear a collar. But a lot of the times the dogs that are on the road, they know how the road works. So they know not to walk into the traffic, and they know how to avoid the cars and all of that. Dogs that aren't used to being on the road, they're like dodging cars, and you know, they're scared, they're shaking. So you can tell this dog does
not belong here.
Yeah, he doesn't know what's going on. Or you can even call out to him and be like, hey, and if the dog just walks up to you, like I've done that before, seeing a dog just running on the street, and I'm like, this dog is, something's up with this dog. And I just called over to him, and he ran over to me and hopped in my car. I was like, all right, cool.
This dog used to this.
Yeah. I was like, okay, well, I drove up and down the street, and I was like, do you know this dog? Because there was a lot of construction going on. So I asked all the workers, I was like, do you know this dog? And they're like, no. And so I took him to the nearest vet, which was just like 2 minutes around the corner, Noah's Ark. And I was like, please, please, please hold this dog for me. Like, he's lost. He's not wearing a collar, but he's sweet, and he belongs to somebody.
Right.
And it took about 6 days for his owners to locate him, and they came. And I've had other people call, and they're like, oh, is it my dog? And I was like, well, let's see.
Yeah.
And you ask them some questions first, and you make sure they're not just trying to come and take someone's dog. And then eventually the owners were like, oh my God, that's my dog. I've been looking for him. I'm like, well, that I found him running up and down on the road. You need to get him a collar. You need to get a tag on the collar, which is Mocha has it. Even though she doesn't leave my side. She has a collar and a tag, and the tag has my name and number. So if anything ever happens to her,
somebody can be in contact.
Somebody can be in contact.
So lost dogs versus stray dogs. There's two different things.
And homeless dogs.
Stray and homeless.
Okay, got it. I got it. My bad. So what are some of the health concerns for lost dogs? Like I imagine for anybody who's lost their dog, like if it goes past 2 or 3 days, you start to really fret because how is this dog that is so acclimatized to eat in a certain way, live in a certain way, now they must have fend for themselves. Like, let's talk about some.
That's definitely a risk because they're not used to knowing where to look for food and things like that. So one of the main health concerns is them not starving because they're not used to digging around in garbage and begging food. So yeah, that's a big thing. But also the issue of them getting hit by cars or even people because they might be more used to people and they might be trying to go up to people and people are scared. People go and kick them, stone them, all those kinds of things. So they also might get into something they're not supposed to that could be poisonous, dangerous.
And other dogs.
Other dogs, because they're not used to having to defend themselves.
Right, and them street dog, they're I know that we're being a little giggly about this, but the truth is that, a big part of this whole segment, WAGS, is to really try and, I think, create or help people to be a little bit more compassionate to our animals. I find that in Jamaica sometimes we really are kind of
because
we are
culture,
very flippant. And we feel like we're busy fending for our family and our people. Who cares about the dogs? But thank God that there are people like you who really do, because they're a part of our world, and it's a shame to ignore them or treat them
look
badly.
away.
How can we aid in this mission? What happens if we see a lost dog? What do we do?
Well, one of the big things I tell people is you can care about more than one cause. Like just because you see a stray dog on the road and you're supporting a children's home or a church or whatever, doesn't mean you can't stop and feed the dog. Carry a little dog food in your car. Take time out to take care of it. And if you do find a dog that you believe is lost, whether it's wearing a collar or how it's behaving, you know, the first thing to do is take a picture of where the dog is, like the street, maybe GPS location, spot if you can figure it out where you are, if you can stop safely and do it. And then what I always tell people, because a lot of times they send it to the Montego Bay Animal Havens page, and I share it with lost dogs, or I ask them to, because they can give more information about where they saw the dog, who they can contact. We do ask people, you know, if you can stay with the dog until someone can get it somewhere safe, so that it doesn't, because, you know, they're going to run. They're going to run. And the owner might come to that spot and it's not there again. So if you can't stay with it, to try and maybe get it to a vet. And the JSPCA is one of the vets that will hold on to dogs that are suspected as being lost for a certain amount of time until the owners come forward, and then if not, then they're put up for adoption.
Right, got it.
But the vets are very helpful.
Got it. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Sue.
Thank you for caring, and thank you for helping us to understand how, you know, I love what you said. You can care for more than one thing. You can have more than one cause. And so this might be, you know, a part of your cause.
And she's helping to change the culture in Jamaica.
Thanks for being here too.
You know, you know, I had a friend visit recently, and she saw a dog on the world. She's like, whose dog it is? I'm like, it's a regular thing. You know, in some people
you can care about the dog and your community too.
Yeah, it's true.
That was Sabria Hector, Managing Director, Montego Bay Animal Haven, and Mocha, a rescue dog. He hit the home stretch when sunrise returns, so don't move a muscle.
Yeah, nice.